Hey everyone, so since probably this is one of the last times that I'm in Romania in my old house, I thought it's time to show you where I actually came from drawing wise, how ugly they are. So let's go on an adventure together and see what horrible things I've been drawing as a kid. Alright, let's start with this little booklet, which has a lot of red dots from when I was in kindergarten, because I was a good kid. And it has probably one of my first drawings. As you can see, this was 1992. And yes, this is an Optimus Prime and somebody reading there. And then me trying facial expressions, I guess. But this is... Welcome to 1998, I think. Yeah, these are my sketches. That's where I started. Anatomy didn't get any better. The rest sort of did. So let us go, where do I have some drawing in this one? Here we go. A lot of copying I did in these years. So this is Transformers. I remember this exactly. I don't know why I drew that. But once again, Transformers, Devastator here. I'm actually quite surprised. This is, probably I was copying this as well, that the perspective and everything is quite okay here. More Transformers. I think this is my own Transformer. I wanted to do some... I like the triple changer, so I'm pretty sure in my head this train was some sort of a triple changer as well. And back here, I was reusing so the same that I designed on the previous page, and it's just transforming into this thing and also flying thing. I'm looking through this because I didn't look through thoroughly. I wanted to have my own like first impression of this, and I'm surprised. Not bad. This you can clearly see. This was me copying something I saw. This was in a Transformers book as well. Well, comic book, and the face you can see here. That I erased it a million times, and that stays the same now as well. I'm just not good with faces. The rest sort of came out pretty good for a copy. And like, again, these copies are quite... I'm surprised that I was copying this well. I sort of messed up here the proportions of the lower part of her face, and the lip just didn't go back at all. Of course, eyes are also off. But these are quite okay, actually, for a kid who is, I don't know, 98, I said. I was like 14, 15-ish. This is Silver Sable. I forgot to say, I think these were either Spidey or Transformers as well. Like all of this, because I think this is Silver Sable, and these soldiers belong to Silver Sable, and that these are just one of the Spider-Man books. I had a couple of those. And then some angel drawings there as well. Copying this 100% as well. This is me not copying stuff. At least I think this was me. It looks like my not understanding of anatomy, just some football people. Again, this is Transformers. I remember this one quite well. This is copied from there as well. This I think I made up, but this is definitely copied. Yeah, copying, as you can see, even if you're not that good at drawing, you can be good at copying, but if you don't apply what you copy, you're not going to get much better. Here, these I don't know what these tiny wheels are, but I remember one of the drawings had these as well. And I was like, okay, I'll copy it, but I don't think that's correct. Also Transformers landscape. And yeah, this is also Transformers. I think this was from a UK book because I really like the art style in this one. And it just, this shot looked really good. And I mean, like, yeah, that is good. Not something that I could draw as a 14-year-old, but I could copy it. And then here, this is me just using, I think this was from Head. And this is using perspective, relatively okay for a young kid. I can't complain about this too much. And then I started copying a Spidey here and stopped. I don't know why. Some sort of mini comic book with football. I think I was watching a lot of Captain Tsubasa here. Just looking at how this ball is coming to this player here. Yeah, I was watching a lot of Tsubasa. And here, I don't know if it's the same comic book. It seems to be the same comic book, yeah. I have no idea what I was doing with this. And then a Spidey, obviously not copied. Or I remember the pose, I thought let's do it, but yeah. And then if we go to the back side of this little booklet, because I like to draw on both sides for some reason, I had another little story comic booky thing going on here. it is continuing on this side. And then more of me copying from Transformers books. This is one of the two twin brothers. One of them was called Run Amok. The other was something similar. See, I'm nerd, man. I'm remembering all these things from my childhood, like even the names of the Transformers. And I think there's a couple of more sketches here. Yeah, I started this car, didn't finish it. And here, I remember this one. Like, this is something that I just remember, this car. I was really proud of this one, and I remember it to these days, like this particular drawing. It doesn't look fantastic, but for those days, I was very proud of myself for this. I think this is a copy. Not bad, but copy. Definitely a copy from Transformers again. And then that's pretty much it. For some reason, I felt artsy-fartsy, and I did a sewing into the page. I don't know why I did that, no explanation. But I think with that, we sort of are done, almost done. Well, this is clearly copying from Ghost Rider. Yeah, so this is definitely Ghost Rider. And that's it for this little booklet. And moving on, a year I think, because this is 1999, and we have some nice Star Wars references here. I think this is my time where I was reading Dark Empire, and I was a bit impressed. Well, definitely because I recognize this cloud trail. I don't know what this was, but it looks pretty cool. I don't know why I drew this, but it's like a nice 3D effect, I guess. Learning a bit of 3D, not bad. Some sort of monster, yeah, anatomy not my thing. Spaceships, dogfights, shooting lasers, that is what I was enjoying. And then there's a little bit of writing here. There's a Spidey. This one here is also a copy. It's Ben Reilly. I think it's Ben Reilly, but either way, it's a Spidey sketch. And I did back in the days when I was really influenced by Mark Bagley. I had a lot of the comics from him that he was drawing, and that was pretty much my start for drawing humans. And then we have a couple of scribbles, just drawings. Here I have a couple of spaceships. Now that I look at it, I remember this one. It got, I don't know, attacked and it was swirling there. And I always like letting other people draw into my sketchbooks. I don't know, it's just fun looking back at them. I always liked Venom. My handle is Venom in many places. And I have to, well, after this, I want to hope that I didn't draw this, but looking at the eye, I probably did. And I'm sorry for the next page. Please, kids, look away. I was drawing some saucy ladies back in those days. I don't know why, but yeah, I can't draw anime girls, but I drew these ladies back in those days. And that's it for this little booklet. And then as we go on, I actually had a job working as a side illustrator, as a part-time job during my university. And I had to draw a whole lot of characters, which I am not good at, so I don't know why I had to do this. But these were for magazines for kids, where they had to find all sorts of differences. It was a big picture, and you had to point out differences. And like these are all, sort of, you can see it's the same my people in that magazine. And then same here, like a mini comic book. I had several of these. I lost a lot. I even had robots, which were much better than this, obviously. But you can see that, yeah, the face qualities are not there. But I learned about motion blur in Photoshop, so I added some effects, Photoshop effects for these little stories. But yeah, I think this one was mine as well, putting something together. It was an interesting time, I must say. Look at these drawings. I think most of the time I was looking up artists, how they drew bears, and I did sort of a very much copying of things. This was a fun one. Like, this was just drawing on paper and coloring it in Photoshop. I remember this one. This was quite fun to do these animals. And then I did also tried some photorealistic drawings. This was back in 2004, 5, maybe later even. No, it was later than that. More photorealistic things. And this is all I have from this period where I was working for these magazines. And sadly, that's pretty much it, because we have arrived to pretty much modern times. These I all drew here throughout the last 3, max 4 years, maybe even less than, well, something like that. So just a bunch of sketches that I was doing while I was here. I didn't have more than these drawings because most of the time, as you can see, I draw like this. So sketchbooks are a relatively new thing that I started since I studied in the Netherlands. and here everything was on paper. But yeah, this is all industrial design, new stuff. Back in the day, I remember I had a whole bunch of papers because my mom was bringing them home, and I was drawing on those, and majority of them, I'm pretty sure, got lost. So yeah, sadly there's not that much old stuff, but you can see the difference that is between these and what I drew back in those days. It's interesting because back in those days I was exploring more. I wanted to do more storytelling, and now I really enjoy, well, I don't know if I enjoy, but I concentrate more on designing, like trying to come up with interesting things. And then, of course, we have this. This was probably this year summer when I was here, because I can see the blue ink. So this is a hodgepodge of the last couple of years. I was doing some studies with blue ink. I'm really into blue ink still. But yeah, back in the day, I had characters and whatnot, and now mostly spaceships, cars, robots, so things. Not as much storytelling as trying to draw cool, I don't know, things. This was a Christmas robot when I was here, one of the Christmases. I don't know which Christmas it was. And then this is just a last sort of dirty sketch setup thing. Yeah, that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't think you learned anything from it, but at least you saw where I came from. Thanks for all the patrons. Thanks for everybody for just hanging out with me. And yeah, see you in the next one, I guess. Until then, keep on sketching and have a great time. Bye-bye.